This is the creative hub, run by Ivy. Ivy is a big woman. Ivy is a big woman. Don't mind her. Can be sitting in this woman. All those but she's a big woman. Ivy controls the space. She runs credit hub. When we walked in, she was having Afro Street Carnival meetup. So she runs Afro Street Carnival. That's like the biggest carnival right now in the south. Right? And I think in the southeast as well, right? So that's PORTHARCOURT's main carnival right now.
How often
every
does
year.
it run?
Every year, annually. Yeah, so
And this year, I know Uche's gonna want to talk.
I'm going no, I just want to just drop all the let me drop all the listings first. You know? All right, Ivy.
Come to me. Yes! Sorry, why is there camera here? I want to be Mama.
No, be normal.
I want me to be Mama.
Be normal. Be normal.
Yeah, I have to talk. Okay, my name is Ibinabu Amakiri, and I'm a lawyer turned creative. Maybe that's why I'm overdoing everything. Law restricted me, choked me, and then now I'm free. Right? And I run the Creative Hub. It started 4 years ago, and we're at this point right now. So it was started at a time when hubs were associated with tech hubs. So once you say you're running a hub, you call hackers, developers, coders, and all those scary things that used to scare me. I was like, no, we're a hub for other types of creatives, the writers, the graphic designers, the poets, the web designers, fashion designers, every other person, musicians, and maybe a sprinkle of tech on the top, just little, but we're more for the other, for the creatives. And so I started Creative Hub, and we're a community of creative people made out of all these people I mentioned, and then we collaborate, we network, we work on projects. I have platforms for them to showcase their creativity. I connect them to jobs. We're just a community just growing together. So I turn them into businesses, opportunities in the economy, and networks. That's what I do. I'm having fun doing it. Sometimes I feel I'm not serious. Sometimes I feel I don't know what I'm doing, but we're still going on. So we do many mini events and pop-ups just to have that community vibe where we keep meeting. We have yard sales, farmers markets, fun stuff. It doesn't sound as hard as coding, but fun, nice, great stuff. And we still try to have that silent children.
With 2 children.
But yes, that's what it's all about. Pushing the arts, enterprise, and innovation in PORTHARCOURT and creating a safe space for young creatives to develop. So that's what we do.
All right.
This is our space. Yes, and the Afro Festival is our biggest platform for it's a fashion, art, and heritage festival. It happens annually. We are on our 4th edition. The theme this year is Negritude, which is about blackness, black strength, and pride. We're celebrating it from the 3rd of December. But we have 3 events. Yes. But we have 3 events because it's a community of creativity. So we have 3 events. 3 events that run starting from 26th of June. Our events we have a festival called Road to Blackness. There's Sounds of Blackness. The main festival and the artist. I want to. I think it's one of these. Carry that to another. So basically what we do is because your fame supersedes your coming. I never take that for granted. I don't take it for granted. I still But we have an annual event every year. Which we host in a different African location. So it's actually been to host it. We've had it in Ghana in 2016, in Egypt, in Ethiopia, Tanzania. Because now this is our Tanzania, Ethiopia,
Listen to what she's saying.
this is our connect. This is our
guys didn't invite me.
Wow. Uche is a party. We announced it. Wow.
Oh, wait,
You're supposed to send you a ticket.
They didn't send me a ticket.
Wow. Because Uche is one of he's the passionate announcer. Keeping all of us together one way or the
Well,
other.
then
Right?
this year we're doing it in Zambia, right? The first time in Southern Africa, so everybody's really excited about it and all that. But the interesting part of it is that we've been having this conversation and silent uprising within our community. That there's a creative community within Afrilabs.
Okay.
Most of them are still a hybrid of the creative spaces and tech because we still always try to integrate that technology and integrate everything within Afrilabs. It'll be quite interesting to see what we can do. Yeah, you do like we can organize like a side parallel event, something really exciting.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'll be IB's manager.
So wait,
You have to
I
pay me first.
say really interesting one. I do the interesting. I'll be the one that
Yeah, so yes, and it's interesting because our gala, we introduced this annual gala, that's part of our gala.
So you have all
Last
these,
year.
okay, you have all these programs that are run
Alongside, but then the gala, but the gala in itself is for everyone who is basically attending. It's not a parallel event. It's like the main event. Last time we hosted it at the State House. The Vice President.
Does it have a theme?
It has a theme, and this year the theme is it's celebration of African culture and Met. So it's like the Met Gala of Africa.
Thank
Culture to come and see and
Yeah.
run other activities there as
I'm
well.
very happy. When
Yeah.
you just said, I was like, okay. Yeah, Mama. Okay. Thank you so much for being here.
Okay.
I'd like to show you around.
Yeah, that's what we want to see.
I have this artist where I received this stuff. This is the so you don't quiet.
Yes, now this is my house now, so
No, I said you don't quiet.
let's go. Going to Lagos next.
Yeah. Then I tell you what's this.
I need to get.
I said, somebody cannot play with her. I was putting my leg on.
Skip my mind. She was just going.
I have to bring it to Canada. That's
Shoot music videos, photographs. When people want a set for something they want to discuss about,
Yeah.
then we have this. So it's more active.
okay, so you lease out this space for
Yes. People that want to have photo shoots, video shoots, they want to have like have conversations.
yeah, I know. Talk shows,
Talk shows.
TV talk shows,
Yes.
magazines and
Video
stuff.
podcast.
Video podcasts, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people come through for that.
This even giving. So why don't you even have one that you run? Why don't you have one that you
We're
run?
about that's exactly what we're downstairs discussing. This particular thing we're talking about a YouTube. Where we want to go into that space because we have a lot of content.
Yeah.
The hub has generated a lot of content over the years from all activities.
There's so many
We're
things you
always
can.
doing
There's so
things.
many things you can do. Look
Yes.
at Bulgaria Africa, for
Right.
instance.
Thank you.
I don't think you.
So we're starting to explore in all the spaces,
It's so
travel and
beautiful.
tours. Yeah, YouTube, we're going on the streets, starting conversations, vox pops. Is that what they call it?
Yeah, Vox Pop.
Vox Pop, starting conversations and just pushing the community out there.
Okay.
So that is what that team downstairs is working at. That's going to pull in all of us because we need the videographers, photographers, red carpet hosts.
Yes.
And it pulls in a lot of people that start to work on the project.
Nice.
That's what we're thinking about. Then travel and tours. PORTHARCOURT does not really have any travel.
Not at all. So in terms of funding and in terms of funding and sustainability,
Right. So we
how's
try
that been?
to generate internally so far.
Mhm.
And yes, I would say mostly personal funds have been going into it because I'm extremely I know whether there's something called the creative course, CURSE, because you're passionate about what you're doing. Sometimes you forget that I need money to keep running this thing, right? So I would still say we are still at 60% personal funds and then 40% pulling from outside, and also trying to generate within. Like we rent out the hall, we rent out right here. The vendors are coming in for all these little things we do. They pay for their stands. The festival is the major thing I think pulling huge funds. But we started getting sponsorships on the festival from brands. Because we're having over 4,000 at its edition. Yeah, we're getting to that point. So gradually. But all your British Council funding and what all those things for development agencies, we are still trying to get it right with what they want when they apply for their funds.
Okay, so those are not non-issues really. It's a function of practically just looking at the structure, more like what's the business model for this?
Right.
What's the business model? And look at what sources of funding and effectively support for what you do. There's a lot of opportunity, right? Because it's unique.
Yes, it is.
It's not the traditional co-working space kind of thing, but there is a lot of opportunity because it's a niche that is largely a lot of people in your space don't actually see themselves, don't think that they can be startups.
Yes.
And that's an area that I need to
exactly.
discuss with you because,
Exactly.
like I talked to Tammy. Tammy doesn't know that they can create a hub.
Yeah, because he is into music and
He's coming in
social
tomorrow.
media.
I mean, you should also come in tomorrow morning. We're having a hub.
the hangout thing.
There's
hub managers
a
seminar.
hub seminar by 11 tomorrow where we discuss hub structures 11 to 1, and then the hangout is later in the evening. Yeah. So
Okay, so that's what I get people to do, this kind of things. So I do talent hunts. I just go and search for people. So I saw this man painting by Groot, like drawing by Groot, very young guy. And so I looked at him. I said, draw me. He was just looking at me. He said, for free. I said, draw me. Draw me, and I gave him my address. He brought it after too. He drew me. Without really knowing who I was, he drew me. And look at what he drew. Do you know how many jobs I'm giving this guy? Like just putting everybody that knows me was like, IB. He's even finer than him. And then I gave him a space also. There's a hut outside at the junction. It belongs to me. So I gave him a space, so he's doing his art out of there. So I'm giving him the opportunity. So those are the kind of opportunities I create for talent. So he's right outside. I'm sure if you go, you'll meet him. Yeah, there is artists there, so people are stopping by, people are watching.
awesome. This is nice.
Right.
It's remaining for him to draw me up.
Yeah.
So let's see how it goes.
And that's
So, I want to ask questions.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I have things. I just do
You
not.
know, those kind of things, yes.
So, yeah.
Right.
I noticed that African, yeah, they're for sales.
Yes, they actually sell the pieces here too.
Ah.
Yes, actually. So that is thank you. I like Africa. I love Africa. I think our being African is our superpower. Being African is your superpower. I'm proud of it. Proud of it.
All right, guys.
Yeah, you know how they should.
I am bad at things like that.
Oh boy. Okay.
All right. So
Everyone is stressing. Sorry, we're using the small.
no, it's fine. It's part of the talk. It's part of the experience of the tour. So, guys, you've seen. Is there any other place you need to see?
Okay, I have it. Okay, so I'm also that person that says every creative should have a side hustle. I'm a firm believer in that, so that you can express without feeling, your daily money comes in and then you're okay, so you can fully express. So I have a natural hair salon, which is next door, so that's my side hustle.
Oh, it's still connected to us.
Yes, it's African hair, it's African women's hair.
Which way?
Everything about us.
Come this way.
Okay, we should do this way.
Yeah.
Okay. There are also beautiful pieces here. Though.
Yeah, no, yes.
Let's take one here, Fred.
I know. Yeah, my people. Yeah, my people.